Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much for listening in the podcast, excuse me. It is Sunday, April 7, 2024. I'm here to speak about some news that happened actually last week. I just happened to learn about it now and it's very sad, okay? So apparently this is so sad. This is let me give you a trigger warning. So if you get sensitive with some medical negligence news, maybe this is not the video or the podcast you want to listen to right now. So that's my warning for you. But I'm going to speak about medical negligence, tragic medical negligence that happened last week. It's about a woman who went for a routine pregnancy checkup, okay? Routine pregnancy checkup in the hospital ended up doing an abortion on her by mistake. This is so tragic, guys. I mean, I never been pregnant, never had any kids, but I can only imagine. Um, I can only imagine waiting and having the news, right, that you're gonna be a mom and doing the right thing, going to get your medical checkups and doing all of that to show up and be the victim of this medical negligence that ended up actually killing your baby. That is crazy, you guys. This is happening in the world right now. This is why you have to be on top of things. Not blaming her. I'm saying you have to be like, I wonder if this mom actually went by herself, okay? Because I understand the medical field very well. I know that it's a rush. Even talking to a doctor, they rush you. It's like so fast. You have to understand, just like any other business out there, the medical is also a business. The medical field is actually a business. And yes, the more patients that they can see, the better for that business. So that's why you have to just reconfirm things, right? Ask the question. If you see them rushing you out of an appointment, you know, everybody has a supervisor. It's okay for you to ask for a supervisor. A lot of the times, um, you know, there is, you know, there is this thing that people are like, oh, just follow what the doctor said. Like, just go ahead. Like, if you have a concern, you are the patient. At the end of the day, it's you. Whatever treatment they're going to do is on you. So ask your question regardless what people say. Even if you bring somebody with you sometimes you bring people with you and they see you questioning things and they're like trying to hush you. It's like, are you serious? You came to help me or you didn't, right? So obviously I'm not blaming the mom here. I cannot imagine such a tragic news, okay? This is the same way if you have an elderly parent, make sure you're asking questions, okay? Make sure if your parents is an old age, you have an elderly parent and you see them having a lot of doctor's appointment, show up to one of those doctor's appointment, okay? Show up and find out and figure out what's going on and ask questions. You have to understand that, like I said, everything is a business these days and people are rushed in every industry. That's why some people go to get oil changes and then they leave their car like with the oil cap wasn't even tight enough or things like that. Anything can happen. That's why you have to just double check things, right? But when it comes to a medical field, even more, you need to ask the questions. I cannot believe, but the story that I'm going to tell you about that actually happened. A mom who was 4 months pregnant, guys, went to her regular medical checkup for her baby. She walks in, they do the regular routine checkup, right? They give her anesthesia, and then an abortion is performed. Can you imagine that? Okay, people like, it's so crazy because you see it in medical offices. You see it all the time. They're always on their phones. They're always like on their phone, busy on their phone. It's like, get off your phone. If you get hired to do a job and you call yourself a Christian, at least have some type of fear of the Lord when you are out there in the field doing a job. and get off your phone and pay attention and watch what you're doing. This is crazy. Let me read to you a little bit of this story, okay? Multiple investigations are underway after Czech Republic doctors performed an abortion on the wrong woman. Medics mistakenly terminated, oh my lord, I can't even say that. Medics mistakenly terminated the fetus of an expectant mother who was 4 months pregnant on March 25th. The victim had arrived at the Bulok Bulovka University Hospital in Prague for what she thought would be a routine checkup. However, like I said earlier, she instead was placed under anesthesia, okay? Um, and then let me just intended for another patient, and then they did the abortion. I don't want to give you like a specific details here, but it's just this is crazy. Both the woman who lost the baby and the woman who was supposed to be put under were of Asian descent, and that's what they're saying to the media. So apparently there have been some type of language issue here that happened. Even so, out of all the places where they should be using translator, it should be in the hospital. That's another thing that you see, right? You see young kids translating for their adult parents medical terms that they don't even know how to say in their language. Just because a child, and this happens a lot to immigrant family. Okay, it happened to me also. Like I'm there translating medical terms for my mom. I don't even know like how to even say that in Spanish. I don't even know what it means. And rest assured, all these professional offices, okay, where you go and pay your money to be treated, they are totally equipped with translation services. They should never be using a child to translate just because it's more convenient today to see a patient sooner and faster so they can get to the next patient so they can, charge again the insurance and get more money for their business. That's another thing that you see. Such a crazy medical negligence. And I feel like there should be more in the Christian crowd because you cannot help people accountable that don't have the fear of the Lord, right? Well, let me take that back. If you were hired to do a job, I'm expecting you to follow through and to be a professional at your job, right? But I'm saying if you have the fear of the Lord, you call yourself a Christian, your job should be even more of excellence because you're working for the Lord. That's a biblical birth. That's a Bible verse, right? When you're out there in the field and you call yourself a Christian, you should be even doing a more of an excellent job, right? Because you're working for the Lord. I just don't understand how, there's so many things that we do in life, and then we get hired to do something. It's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. Oh, I didn't mean to do. Oh, that's okay. Oh, okay. Maybe your son can translate for you. Maybe it's like they're young kids. Why are you even using them as translators? It's just crazy. So apparently, what happened here, like I said, this happened in the Czech Republic. Both the woman, the one that was supposed to have the abortion, the one that just went for a regular checkup, were of Asian descent. Let me just continue reading here. Um, it says here a Czech speaking patient will probably actively resist the fact that she's going to undergo a procedure that she does not understand, say a GYN doctor and the chairman of the Czech medical chamber. Police were investigating the matter as a case of bodily harm, and all the staff involved have been suspended. Good. That's the thing. Everybody's on their phones these days. And how do you go? Not only do you go in, like you meet some when you go into, like I said, I never been pregnant, nothing like that, but I know how the medical field works, right? There's so many hands that you pass, like so many interactions that you go through before you even get to see a doctor, right? You go check in, they're supposed to be confirming, right? In every medical medical office, there should be a check-in person, receptionist, a front desk person, right? And even if they're not, if they're, back during the pandemic, there was like a computer, you still have to put your information before they confirm that it's you. So that failed, apparently, in this case. And then you go and you meet the medical assistant, right? They do vitals, things like that. That failed too. So there's have been a couple of more staff. And I'm glad here it says that they all have been suspended because there's so many people that failed this patient. So many people, even the anesthesia, I'm gonna kill that word, anesthesialist, and the person who brings the anesthesia. Okay, I don't even know how to say that, but the person who brings the anesthesia, I know that's a whole job in itself for one person. That person needs to verify if whoever is gonna go under a procedure is even capable of taking the anesthesia. So that, I mean, I already have like four people who are failing this patient, and then you get to meet the doctor who should have your information, who should know you by your name at least, or call you by your name. That person also fell. Like, what is going on? Nobody double checks anything anymore. Nobody checks. I mean, we're not talking that she went in to have her blood pressure checked. She went in for a checkup for her baby. And when you're doing that, that's the other thing that I know. There has to be already a relationship with that medical office. She was 4 months pregnant, so I'm sure before that she had other checkups done already. So by then they should know this patient already. So for her to show up for a baby checkup, 4 months pregnancy, and then immediately she gets put into anesthesia. That's crazy that nobody was able to say, wait, can you double check is that actually her? People are rushing. The medical field, man, people are rushing through the work. It's so crazy. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna repeat myself here. Ask the question that you need to ask, okay? You will never be a fool. If you want to double check things about a treatment that you're undergoing or something, whatever it could be, right? It's okay to ask questions. We're not, you're not the doctor, you don't know the things, right? So if you have a question, ask the question. So let me continue to read here. The patient has been offered an apology and compensation for the avoidable tragedy, according to the report. Let me see. All the staff involved have been suspended and were under investigation by the hospital. I really hope, this is actually quite interesting in the fact that you don't hear about some a messed up like this. It's kind of like strange that this actually happened. So I hope there was nothing underneath that they're not actually telling us yet. I do understand there's police investigation going on and the staff has been suspended. Everybody who was connected to this appointment has been suspended. But wow, that's crazy. A woman goes in for a 4 month pregnancy checkup with a doctor and they end up doing an abortion on her. That is crazy, you guys. So tonight, I hope you keep this family in your prayers and let me know what you guys think about this. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel and thank you so much for listening to the podcast. God bless everybody.